finally got to grips with hardened fat and rendered fat. Let me show you. I'm going to first of all make some of the liquid melted rendered fat. So let's just grab my torch and light this. There we go. Now here, this is just fat. I've not added water or anything like that. It is just melted fat. It will take more than that to melt this much. It is in a residue covered grey ceramic pot, which we can use for fat, candles and glue, which, seeing as you can eat the hardened fat, is a fairly unappealing thought. It cooks quite quickly. Oh, good grief. Right, well, we'll do the best we can. You can see that I've been practicing on this. It's taken me a long time to understand this, mostly because some of it's counterintuitive to me. Right, so it's cooking away there as the fog sweeps over and around us. What a sight! My gosh. Right. Goodness. Okay. And this is just a lump of fat, but you'll notice that it's measured in litres, which I think is pretty good. Right. Let it finish. Okay, we now have the melted fat. Now the thing to do now is to take an empty bucket, take the bucket, yeah, can you see I am hovering over it with the bucket and I'm right clicking, and it will take, should be 10 litres. Yes, there we go. Put that in there. Now we have another 2 litres. Now I had assumed that we would be able to take an empty bowl and that we would also be able to take the bowl, right click. Now we've still got 2 litres left, and when we put the bowl down it says it's empty. Extraordinary. So we can't get it out with a bowl. We have to use another bucket. So we will take that residue out, just the 2 litres, with another bucket. All right, now that's in there. This has to harden. While it's hardening, I'm going to cook some more fat. So just get this going. I think it should be still warm. Yes, it is. Okay, so we need this to cool, and it's going to take 5 hours to cool. So let's me take a cut there, and I will come back to you after 5 hours. Okay, we've got another 12 litres, and it said it will harden in 3 hours. So we are keeping an eye on this, which is still melted fat. Now I'm going to let this lot harden in the cooking pot. This is greatly against my thoughts in that I don't think we should be able to get hardened fat out of a cooking pot, but that's just my opinion, and it's not how this works. We put this back where it belongs. Okay, let's wait while this cools. Harden in 3 hours. Okay, I'll come back to you when it's hardened. Okay, we've got another 12 litres and it said it will harden in 3 hours. So we are keeping an eye on this, which is still melted fat. Now I'm going to let this lot harden in the cooking pot. This is greatly against my thoughts in that I don't think we should be able to get hardened fat out of a cooking pot, but that's just my opinion and it's not how this works. We put this back where it belongs. Okay, let's wait while this cools. Harden in 3 hours. Okay, I'll come back to you when it's hardened. Okay, this has solid, it's now solid. So you pick it up and then just as you would with water, you press Control and right click, and that is 20. So our 10 litres have become 20. So the amount of fat seems to have gone back again, and then you can actually put the fat on the ground like that. So we now have our solidified fat. Now, what I also found out is that if we take an empty ceramic lamp and we put our solidified fat in, there we are. And if you remember, I was trying to think about how we would get a hanging lamp. Thank you, my friends, for telling me. And the answer is so simple, it's unbelievable. You just find somewhere that's tall, like this, and then you just put it there, and then you have, I can't see it now, let's just get rid of this. Take a little bit down here, and you have a beautiful hanging lamp. So you don't have to do anything. It just hangs there rather than just being attached as a lamp. Isn't that fantastic? Now, going back to this hardened fat, if you take a bowl and you right click it, you can get a litre of solidified rendered fat. Okay, let's have a look in here. That is now solidified. Now, my hope was that we would be able to take a bowl, right click, no such luck. It thinks it's empty. But we have some fat in there. If we take an empty bowl, let me just get rid of that. Right, and we right click, then we can get a bowl of solidified fat. Okay, so over here we've got 12 litres again, and I've got an empty bucket, so we just keep right clicking. I'm sure we can get more out, and that is 6 litres of solidified rendered fat. Okay, and that will gradually give you the supplies of fat that you need. So this will now solidify, and this one has got solidified fat in. So that's how you make the fat. And if you have this bowl, so it's got rendered fat in, and I've got 13. You click on it, it's gone. Put it back and it's there. Click on it, press Control, and it comes out. So you can't get it unless you click on it and press Control. as if you were pouring water out. And that is how we get to the solidified fat. Now, to me, there is a fundamental issue with this. We have always used oil lamps early in the game. We've always been able to sacrifice a little fat just to get a permanent light. You can't do this at the moment. If this is the final process, you can't do it without planks. So that's not very good in my opinion, because it does mean that the only source of permanent light early in the game are torch holders. Anyway, I will leave that thought with you. I can't tell you how many hours it has taken me to work this process out. It's not terribly intuitive to me, but that's okay. Many processes, once I get used to them, are going to be just fine. Bye bye, my friends.